Hey, Bob here. It's Sunday morning, September 14th, and I'm over at Shadow Bay Park in the Dr. Phillips area. This is a 2.5 mile hike, and I haven't done it for a couple of weeks because I threw my lower right back out about a week and a half ago, and I'm really just going on my first hike since that injury. It was interesting because I didn't have an event. I just woke up with a sore back, and it kept getting worse and worse. Shadow Bay is about 1.5 miles from my house, and they have one path which is concrete. Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
How are you? I'm good.
Beautiful morning, huh?
It is,
Boy.
finally we get some good weather. Yeah, so this path is the sandy path which goes into the woods, and I've really come to like this path. I used to do the other path, which is entirely concrete, and it goes about just over 2 miles, about 2.25 miles. So I'm getting a late start. It's about 10 past 9. And usually when I come on this trail, I am on this trail at 8 or a little before. But I was lazy this morning. I've never videotaped this, so I figured I would do it this morning. There are some little trails that go off. There's also a memorial grave for a young man who died by a gunshot wound. I don't know the whole story. He died in 2005, I think, and he was born in 1990. Maybe I've got that off. Maybe I'm off. But I think he was about 25 when he died. So that would mean he was born in 1980. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And you really can't see here's another offshoot. You really can't see the grave from the main trail. You have to kind of go off a little bit. It's a beautiful morning, even for, it's probably about 9:10, 9:15. I'll say 9:15. This is, the entrance road is over there to the park. You can see a couple of cars off in the distance, and some lily pads. So anyway, yeah, the guy's memorial is up here. But you don't stay on this path. You have to sort of go off to the right. It's kind of hidden. This particular hike is where people walk their dogs. You can see it's really pretty in here. That's where I just came from. So it's a little cool this morning, just very slightly. Even for this time, it's still not hot. It's got some signs of fall on its way in Orlando. And I call this a mini Lake Louisa. Nice broken tree there. I like this trail. It's very diversified. There's lots of different things. You got the sand, you got the woods. I got a cool breeze coming at me right now, just slightly cool. And I've been trimming this trail. Oftentimes I take my pruning shears because nobody maintains it, so I take it upon myself to do some of the stuff. Now that's more trail over there. It kind of breaks off. And to get to this guy's grave, or memorial grave, we got to get down here. So here's the main trail going straight. We're going to go down this way. And places like this is where I trim. But this isn't too bad right now. And the green stuff will be dying off soon. I'm always looking for alligators on this trail right here, because this is like a perfect place for them to come up. The grave is right here on the left, and it's covered by leaves. Here it is. In loving memory of Jameson Reynaud, December 11th, 1980 to January 19th, 2005. And you'd never see it if you didn't know it was there. Somebody put flowers, which is really nice. And there's a little cross. Anyway, God bless him. May he rest in peace. I checked out, somehow I did a search on the kid, and he's been gone for 20 years now. But I think somehow I found his father. I think I checked him out on Facebook, and his father elaborated a little bit on his death. And apparently he died of a gunshot wound, which is very sad. Anyway, let me just see where I am here. Widen this out a little bit. So one thing I like about this trail is it's close to my house. It's like a mini Lake Louisa hike. It has lots of different elements. You can see this is a big area here where I think it's a road. And I sort of made up my own little hike. I'm heading out to the road now. My back's feeling pretty good. My right knee, where I have the meniscus tear, it's starting to bother me. I tore it last December of 24, and I've been dealing with it all year and recovering from a left calf tear, which was very severe. but I'm so grateful to be able to walk and hike. Now, I don't like this area, but I'm only out here for a very short time. This is Turkey Lake Road, and it's the way I drove in to the park. We're only going to be on it for a second here. I'm going to tuck right back into the woods. Some nice purple berries. Okay, back into the woods. Now, I could have avoided going out, and I could have come through this way, but I like to go out to the street just to add a little something different to this hike. Lots of purple berries here. Seems to be the time for purple berries. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I may bump into somebody on this trail because I often see people walking their dog on this trail. And there's also a runner guy who comes through here. He's not very friendly. And I see him, 1 out of 4 times I'll see him running through here. Probably won't see him today because it's a little bit later than my normal hike. So now we're back in the sand. Once again, this is Shadow Bay Park, Dr. Phillips, Florida. You might call it Orlando, Southwest Orlando. Okay, so now we're out in the bright sun. There's some cactus here. Matter of fact, I was coming through here one day, I think it was right about here, and some lady went by with her dog, and I pulled off the trail to the side, and my right calf went right into that cactus right there, and it stung me for probably 20 or 30 minutes. It was just stinging. I probably got about 5 barbs that went through my support hose. There's a little birdie up there. We'll see if the fallen tree is still here or whether or not they chopped it up. Check out those trees. Those are pretty cool. Hiding out just a bit. And there are some little offshoots here and there. And one thing I like about going through the woods as opposed to doing the concrete walkway is fewer people in here. And I would say more nature. Well, they haven't moved the tree. It's still here. I feel like coming over with a chainsaw. You know, it's been there for, months. That's why I bring my pruning shears. There are some tight areas, and I don't think they do any maintenance to this trail. Like, for instance, I might end up cutting that or something. Just stuff that's sort of in the way. So we're heading toward a couple of well stations. They have some elaborate pump stations. And that's another thing. It's just an interesting trail. We're still close to the road, but we're heading away from it right now. That road is Conroy Windermere. Okay, so here we've got some stuff growing. And if I had my clippers, I would clip those. I haven't been over here for 2 weeks. That's all grown in 2 weeks. That's a little shortcut coming to this same point. Now we're going to get into where I really do a lot of clipping. We'll see how it is, because I haven't taken my clippers for maybe 3 weeks. More berries. Oh, aren't those pretty? You can see it gets kind of overgrown in here. This is a beautiful area in here. Remember my first time walking through here. I thought, wow, this is so pretty in here. Right? I've done quite a bit of pruning right here. And I can see I need to do some more. Not too bad, but there was a point early, maybe a couple of months ago, I couldn't even get through here. You can see it's all growing back. So I come in here with my clippers, and one of the reasons I came over this morning was to see how this is. And you can see there's just enough room to walk through, really. Stuff has really taken off. So next time I come over, I will bring my clippers. Okay, so now we come out of the woods, and there's a glorious lake right here. Once again, another thing that makes this walk interesting. Now, eventually we're going to head over this way, but I always like to come down here. And what's going to happen in the next couple of months is all this green stuff is going to turn brown, and it'll be real easy to get through here. So what I like, oftentimes I come here, I love this pond. It's so pretty. Hold up the camera, zoom in just a little. Now, if I continue down this way, it dead ends to the at the road. So, and this, you can actually walk almost all the way around this lake. So I'm gonna head back. Grass is wet. Lots of nature. There's usually geese in this pond, ducks, and other species of Florida birds, heron, egret. You'll see them all in this pond. This is a place where people like to smoke marijuana because it's kind of off the beaten trail. And I've been over here a few times where they were sucking on weed. Some locals. There's another little trail going up to one of the main trails. We're going to keep walking around the lake here. Now, probably getting close to 9:30, and a lot of the early wildlife isn't here right now. That stick coming out of the water usually has a bird on it. Right there. There's definitely gator in this pond because I've seen them. I haven't seen them up on the shore, on the berm here, but I've seen them pop their head out of the water. And that is Conroe Windermere Road over there. It's a very busy road. Goes from Windermere all the way over to the Millennium Mall and beyond. But this is a beautiful place right here. Once again, a very diversified trail. Lots of different elements to it. And there's a sign here telling you to watch out for snakes and alligators. So I'm not going to do it today, but oftentimes I'll walk around the pond over here, and it dead ends once again at the road. So you can't go all the way around the pond. Both ways around it dead end. Okay, so we're gonna go back in the woods. Let me tighten my knee brace here. It's elastic, so I just have to pull it up a little bit. You can see it's breezy in here. Maybe you can hear that. Everything's blowing at the moment. So here we go. And sometimes you'll see people coming from down there. We're going this way. I go watch my feet here because there's a lot of roots. Now this is a road. It's beautiful. It's all covered with pine straw. Let me widen it out just a tiny bit. Oh, maybe it is. Okay. So a couple weeks ago, I got some bad news. I've been dealing with a right eye problem for over a year. I won't go into the details. I've done that on other videos, but essentially, I thought I had a scratched cornea, and I did in fact, but then I found out I had something else going on with my optic nerve, my right optic nerve. It's shrinking, and I have to go see a neurologist October 1st. But I saw another ophthalmologist, my third or fourth one. I saw one a couple weeks ago. He was not a nice man, but he gave me a prognosis with no sympathy, no compassion, and he told me that the eyesight that I've lost in my right eye will not come back. So that was disheartening news. As I look out of my right eye now, it's like looking through cellophane. I can't, on the eye chart, I can barely read the top letters, and I wouldn't be able to drive or hike even if I didn't have my other eye. My left eye is 20/20 with eyeglasses, and I don't wear contacts. So essentially, my right eye is not capable of doing anything other than helping to give me a little bit of depth. Even though I can't see clearly out of it, I think it does help a little bit. So here I am, almost 71, and I'm down to one good eye. One thing that the last ophthalmologist did tell me was make sure I wear eyeglasses to protect my good eye. And I said, well, I've been wearing eyeglasses since the 6th grade, and I have no problem wearing eyeglasses. So that's the bad news. The good news is we'll find out more about it starting October 1st. I'm sure he'll schedule an MRI to see what's going on inside of my brain. And I'll be honest with you, at 71, I'm pretty healthy. I feel pretty good. Try to stay in shape. And if I can keep the eyesight that I have right now, lots of purple berries, by the way. If I can just keep this eyesight that I have now, which is perfect in my left, and 20/80 in my right. I'm 20/20 in my left, corrected, and 20/80. But my left eye takes over, so don't feel sorry for me because I can see perfectly out of my left eye, and without it, I'd be screwed. So, I'm grateful that I have one very good eye, and I can see everything as crystal clear as this video is recording right now. The problem is when I'm working on anything that involves detail, I can't see. Not only am I losing the sight in my right eye, but there's a kind of a blind spot. It's not like black or anything, it's just a spot right in the middle of my vision that has no definition. So I can be talking to somebody and shut my left eye and look at them only with my right eye, and I can't tell you who they are. Okay. So this is kind of a crossroads here. There's 3 other ways to go, and we're gonna go straight here. We're going to come to the pump stations in a minute, which the first time I did this hike, I found it interesting. I wasn't sure exactly what they were. There's 2 of them, and somebody's been out here with a bike. Obviously, this is a road. So we're going to go down this way. You can see how overgrown everything is here. It'll soon die off. And here's the pump station. It's a secure area. It's got a fence with barbed wire around it. It's meticulous within the inner part of the fence. It's a little rough out here, but it's really a meticulous installation. It's just quite beautiful. There's some kind of a well pump in there. Big generator right here. And there's a big diesel tank to the right. No smoking, combustible diesel. No trespassing, etc. There's an entrance off of Yeah, this road here, not the one that you see the cars, but there's another road that connects to it. where the brick wall is, and that actually is part of my neighborhood. But so you can come in there, the public works trucks. Now we're going to go down this trail, but so here's the pump station. Now, what is it pumping? I don't have a clue. There's a lake over here that people fish in. It's in the park, and I'm not sure if these pump stations have anything to do with that lake. Just don't really know. I know it's not irrigation. I mean, this has to be, this is big stuff. And I think it's a well house, so maybe I don't know, I just don't know what it is. One of these days when I run into a public works guy, I'll ask him. We got a little picnic table here, which is interesting because they have a no trespassing sign. This one says well number 4. Warning, well house, high voltage, authorized personnel only. I'm being watched right now. They know who I am because I always hike around here. Matter of fact, there's some trimmer line right here. I see it every time I come. So nobody's moved it. And I don't see any signs that say don't photograph it. So now, if I were to take this path here, this goes over to the concrete trail that goes around the park. I've hiked that trail several hundred times until I decided to start going into the woods here. And I like this better. And one of the reasons I like it better, when I was recovering from my right meniscus tear, and then when I was recovering also from my left torn calf, I found it easier walking on the dirt and the gravel and the sand and the pine straw, etc. It was easier on my joints, my knees, my hips, my back. Here's the other well station. So I'm not really sure. I mean, it's very possible that this could be, water, household water for the area here. I don't know. I'm sure it's a very simple answer. So now we're heading toward that concrete path I told you about. But as you can see, most of this hike is through the woods. More purple berries. And we are going to come out on that path, and we're going to be on it for maybe 1/8 of a mile. Now this road here to the right is the back part of my neighborhood. So if I drove this road, it'd be about 1.5 miles to my home. But I don't come over this way. I take a different way, which is a little quicker. Okay, now we're coming out to one of the entrance paths to Shadow Bay Park. Only problem is you have to be a resident over here because you can't park your car on the side of this road. Okay, a couple of welcoming signs. All pests must be on a leash. Clean up after your pet. This gate is locked 30 minutes prior to park closing. I just had a guy walk in behind me. I didn't see him. Came out of nowhere. And he was walking toward the concrete path, and we're going to join the concrete path right up here. Once I get on the path, I'll probably remain quiet because I'll be, I'm sure, passing people. Not many, but a few who will be walking. Most people come over earlier than the time I'm walking right now. There's another little way to the path right there, the concrete path. We're just going to keep going this way. I may run into that guy I just saw. I don't know which way he went on the path. We usually walk, it's a giant loop, it goes around the park. Here it is right here. We usually walk counterclockwise when we do this hike. And I've done it hundreds of times. This is sewer treatment over here to the right. Sewer treatment plant. It's not running right now, otherwise I'd hear it and smell it. Here comes a girl with her doggie. Morning. Here's the lake, another lake where they fish. Sometimes I come through here and I can smell skunks, and you know what that is. It's not skunks. More purple berries. We're going uphill a little. This is the entrance to the wastewater plant. I guess it's possible that those well stations, maybe they have something to do with the wastewater plant. I don't know. Little squirrel up here on the path. I tend to do a 2.5 mile clip on this path, 2.5 miles per hour to 3. Sometimes I'll do 3 miles an hour on a path like this. But unless I'm trying to get cardio workout, I like to enjoy myself, so I just, interesting tree up there. So I'm not in a hurry. But I don't like to go too slow either. Oops. Here comes another one. Bikes are allowed, but it's nice when they give you a heads up. which they usually do. There's another lake over here to the right. I think I'll just walk in there for a second. Get off the path here. You got to watch out for gators here too. Another beautiful lake. Little path to sit down. And we're going to go back. Although there is another way I could have gone had I kept walking around that lake. I want to get back on the path. They recently replaced some concrete in here. I saw them, several of them were marked, but then there's these broken corners. So up here just a little bit, I'm going to sneak back into the woods. We're going to sneak into the woods, walk a little bit, come back out onto the path, and then back into the woods. I can hear her music. Once again, another path. We're going to go this way. Let me just widen this out a little bit. Oh, it feels so good this morning. I won't say that it's a cold breeze, but it's a slightly cool breeze. So it's probably only about 80 out right now. It's my guess. We've been dealing with, 90s, low 90s. We're finally coming out of that cycle into the beautiful time of year in Florida. Okay, back to the concrete path for just a few steps, and then we'll go back into the woods again. Nobody coming. Oh, strong smell of dog poop. And we're going to go off the path again. And now this is a long walk through the woods. This is beautiful. The last time my son was here, we went for a walk one morning and we were on the concrete path. He lives in San Francisco and he came with his wife and his young baby son, Henry. And anyway, we came over here, Luke and I, and he wanted to go through the woods here because when he was a kid, he used to ride his bike through here. So he said, "Hey Dad, you mind if we go in the woods there?" And I said, "Sure." So I have a, oh, something's rustling over there. Oftentimes you'll see rabbits in here. But anyway, I had an opportunity to go tomorrow to San Francisco with my wife to visit Luke and the baby. Luke's wife Anna is on a business trip starting, I think, tomorrow, maybe today. And she's flying away, far away somewhere. So it'd just be Luke and Henry. And I haven't seen Henry since January. and I miss him. But I've had a lot of physical issues going on since then, you know, the legs. And I typically don't leave Florida in September because it's hurricane month. And I don't like to leave home in case a hurricane stirs up in morning. In case a hurricane stirs up and, you know, I have to be there to deal with the fence. Fence tends to blow down in hurricanes, so we have a new fence we had put in a couple of years ago. It's one of those 6-foot high white vinyl fences. And last year we had a hurricane, and I took the entire fence down except for the posts. And it took about a day to take it down, and I left it down for close to a month and then put it all back up. Oops, something just hit me. Squirrel up here eating something, some kind of pine cone. It just came down and hit me on the shoulder. Incidentally, that guy that just ran by me is the unfriendly runner that I was telling you about earlier in this video. And he's not very friendly, but I wish I had his hair. Anyway, so yeah, I had an opportunity to go tomorrow with Teresa. And I've been watching the tropics, and things are pretty good in the tropics, so that's not the reason I'm not going. I've been struggling with my back for the last couple of weeks, and my meniscus knee, my torn meniscus right knee has been bothering me a bit. And I just don't feel like going out there. I'm sore, and you know, there are other reasons too, but I won't go into that. Anyway, so I'm staying home this trip. Now, this is where I've done quite a lot of clipping through here. This tree fell over in a hurricane. And next time I come, I'll bring my clippers. It's not too bad or anything, it's just some of these stragglers. Now, little by little, we're heading back to the parking lot and the tennis courts. Whoops. Keep your eye on the ground sometimes. Just kicked a root. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do when Teresa is in San Francisco. I'm not real fond of San Francisco. I don't like the weather. And it's a long way away. I don't like flying. I don't mind short flights, but San Francisco is almost 6-hour flight there and about 5 hours coming back. Henry is going to be in school, preschool. Luke is working his tail off, and Anna is going to be somewhere in Europe. She just started a new job, and she's a director. So both of my daughter-in-law and my son are both executives, and they're pretty busy Monday through Friday. So I'm about 2 miles into this hike, and my back is feeling quite good. My right knee is feeling okay, and my left calf feels fine. I've been wanting to videotape this hike. I realize only a few people will watch this video, but I've been wanting to videotape it because it's a hike that I enjoy. It's easy. It has lots of different elements to it. Switching hands with the camera because my right hand is getting very tired. Okay, now here we are, coming back to the path, and we're gonna walk the last eighth of a mile to the car. I really don't know how many times I've walked this path, but it's in the hundreds. 2.25 miles all the way around. It's nice and wide. You can ride a bike, you can walk, you can run, you can walk backwards. Some people walk backwards on it. I often go around and pick up trash. Looks pretty good today. I really haven't seen any. Okay, we're almost coming out to the main entrance road. These are the tennis courts over this way. I think there are 18 courts, maybe 20. I can't remember the exact number, but there's a lot of courts. And they're split up, so they're not all in one big, area. They're spread all throughout the tennis area of this park. This path also goes out to the tennis areas. You can see if I zoom way out, you can see some over there. They also have a fire break road that goes all around the whole park. So, I do prefer being in the woods. Then I don't have to deal with bike riders, and every once in a while you get some weird people. Here comes another guy on a bike. I don't see his wife. She was with him before. This area is protected. They have turtles nesting in here. So behind this rope are turtle warrens, or whatever they call them. Matter of fact, there used to be one right here. This patch of sand. Maybe I've got the wrong patch. Let me go up a little bit. No, that was it back there. That used to be a turtle nesting area. Okay. You can see here the tennis courts, some of them. They've got a little book sharing thing here, and talk about preserving Florida's scrub habitat, and you can read all about that. This is the entrance road. Not sure what that horn is. That's my car straight ahead. And we've just gone, it's about 2.4 miles to my car. My wife and daughter are at church right now. They'll be home about 11:15. Okay, and we started over there. If you remember that stop sign at the beginning of this tape, that's where I started. We've essentially just walked around the entire park. Okay, that's it. Bob checking out. And some of the tennis court stuff. I used to park down here, but now I park where I am. Okay, have a great day.